If you have been struggling to get sales from your design work or understanding what you really need to do to make money, I have the workshop for you. On September 23rd, I'm hosting my first ever Profitable Designer Workshop. This 1-day, 3-hour workshop is only $97, but I have a discount for all my podcast listeners. Go to carinagardnercourses.com/profit and put in the code podcast for $50 off. I can't wait to see you more profitable. Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. Before the advent of social media, there was a time period where you could like a lot of different things and everybody could know about it. Everybody in your realm knew about it, and you could do all those things. But it has been a very funny thing to see that in social media in particular, we have to niche down and show a very specific thing that we're doing. So for example, if you go to my Carina Gardner paper crafts feed, all you will see is anything I've done for silhouette or any paper lines I've designed. Okay, so it's very, very paper craft centric. And if you went to that feed and you didn't realize I had any other feeds, you would think that's the only thing that I do, right? Now, let me tell you the story of how that came to pass. So I had my own name, which some of you follow. It's just the @Carina Gardner feed. And many years ago, when I say maybe like 9 years ago, when I started that feed, we put everything on that feed. So it was like some of my family stuff. We put up my fabric stuff. We put up the paper crafting. I was the creative director of Carta Bella at the time. We put up paper things, all the new lines. My sales director and we did like tons of videos. I mean, it was just like a mix mash of everything I did as a designer. And it was just basically to keep people informed. Well, what we found is that we'd have people come to the feed and then people leave the feed and come to the feed and leave the feed. Well, I mean, we see that today, right? But it was like really big jumps. And I realized it was because, if we were focusing for a couple of weeks on paper crafting, all the fabric people would leave. And then when we'd focus on all the fabric stuff, all the paper people would leave. And so my team was like, we think we need another feed. We need to separate these two things out. So we did, which is why we have the Carina Gardner feed and the Carina Gardner paper crafts feed. Now you'll see that I don't even focus just necessarily on fabric anymore on the Carina Gardner feed. Now it's design. But it's like a different approach to design. It's not like everything I design. It's more about becoming a designer, doing design work. Does that make sense? So we still have it pretty niched down. And I have some other feeds as well on top of that. I know designers who have feeds where all they show is the one thing they do. Maybe they show their painting or they show their calligraphy, okay? And it's not because that's the only thing they do. It's just because social media has made it so that all the people who like that niche, it's easier just to show the one thing. So what I want to talk about today is the actual difficulty in, first of all, finding all the people out there. And I think you're one of them. If you're here listening to this podcast, I suspect you're one of them. You are someone who likes a lot of things. Like me. Like you like the fabric, you like the paper crafting, you like the crochet, you like the knitting, you like patterns, you like designing the quilting things, you like making clothing, you like all the different things, okay? And maybe even more than that, maybe you like painting, maybe you like any other number of mixed media, collage. There are so many wonderful ways to express your creativity, and I'm going to tell you something that Instagram and all the social media feeds are not going to show you. And that is, it is actually easier to win in design, especially if you want to become a designer or you want to have a creative business. It is actually easier to win if you like multiple things. Now, let me explain this, because I think that some of you might be like, how? If you're only showing one thing on social media, then how are you able to win? The truth is, most of the money made in my business isn't always being shown on social media. Does that make sense? social media is not the end all, you guys. I think it's a great place to build an audience. It's a great place to teach people, educate people. Most of those feeds really only existed because we were trying to, it was to solve customer service, basically. So like we'd have a house and we'd have it on YouTube, and then someone would come and say, hey, where do I find this house, how to put it together, because they'd bought the file. And we'd get on social media, show it, and let them see how to do it on social media. Or we'd say, go to YouTube, which is just another form of social media, right? And show them how to do it there. Okay, so we were like sending people, we were trying to educate people, okay, on how to make and do all the things that we were showing them to do. So that's why those feeds existed, and they continue to exist, so that we can educate, I can educate, and I can help entertain and have people see what we're up to, and make sure that the files that they're downloading from me, there's a way for them to put them together, okay? So back to this whole idea of you get to like multiple things. Now, doesn't mean you have to have multiple social media accounts. In fact, if you're a Design Suite member, I don't even love for you to have one account. You'll have one account and then we'll slowly grow it, but we should be spending all of our time designing. Why? Because design work makes money. Social media doesn't. At some point, we have to level up and we have to be doing all the social media and building the audience, but there is a point where that actually comes into play, and that's really, really important. Before that, we're making all our money from actually being a designer, doing the design contract work, doing the online contract work, whatever it is. And this is where it comes into play that liking multiple things actually benefits you, okay? So, when you are hyper-focusing on a particular thing to do, okay? So for example, if you were designing files for your Cricut or Silhouette machine, it is awesome that you like that product, you use that product, that you craft with that product. If you do all of those things, it's really great because then you understand that system, that files, and you can start creating files for that, right? We talk about that in Design Bootcamp. If that is the only thing you know how to do, then you are stuck in a single area of expertise. And that does not benefit you as a designer. All the best designers I know, the ones who are actually making money, okay, as a designer, that is different from people who make money as a teacher of design. Two totally different things, okay? If you are a designer who is making money, and it's the main thing that's bringing in income, you have multiple streams of revenue. You are designing fabric, even if it's online fabric, but you're designing fabric. You're designing SVG or die cut files, maybe clip art files, maybe printables. Maybe you have an Etsy store. Maybe you have multiple stores, okay? Those that have multiple streams of income, they're the ones who are making plenty of money, more than their husbands. Some of their husbands have even retired because of that, okay? I know my husband didn't work for a couple of years while I was the main breadwinner, and we're actually considering that again, I really think that there's a ton of power in having multiple points of view so that you can design for all those different mediums. It's helpful, okay? So that's just something I've observed in the marketplace. If you were someone who up until this point thought, oh, I wish I only did watercolor, but man, I really like doing this and this and this and this and this, you are in the right place, because I really believe that the market actually serves you. You just don't see it. You don't actually visually see it happening in social media, okay? So take a lot of hope from that. I am so excited about this January. It's just been such a great month. We've had a ton of new Design Suite members come in. We just we're getting ready for our next Accelerated Designer workshop coming in February if you want to join us for that. I am really all about beginnings and endings, and it is the beginning of the year. Yeah, I know that there has been some rough spots, you guys, here with the pandemic. I know I have lots of even Design Suite members who have gotten COVID, people who are sick, people who are struggling, okay? If you're in one of those spaces, I'm just going to tell you that I'm thinking of you and I'm wishing the best for you, hoping you'll get healthy and healing, all those things, okay? there's still time. There's still time for it to still be a good year, okay? So there's still time for it to be an awesome year. Maybe you've got a mindset up and say, hey, we're starting this year February 15th. Hey, we're starting this year March 1st, maybe even February 1st. Whatever you can do to use that power of a new beginning come behind you. Don't think, 2022 is already the worst, okay? Just because January is not going well for you. It can still go well for you. You still have that hope and that's ability, okay? I hope to see you in my next accelerated workshop in February. It's going to be a really good one. They're all really good, but it's going to be really, really fun. I'm really excited to share with you some of my insider knowledge. We also have a design bootcamp coming up. So if you want to come join me for that, I think it is starting February 7th. If this is the year you're like, I need to become a designer, I need to get this whole train started, because once you can get it going, you're just going to start chugging along and make it to your destination. But most of us need some real change to make that happen. We have to join a program. We have to have accountability. There are things that have to happen. Otherwise, we start chugging along. We don't make much money. And 6 months from now, we just fall off. We're like, this is not working. So if you want to learn more about my program, we only open up Design Suite during a boot camp. So make sure and come join us for one of those, and I hope to see you there. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.